Guys, when I found out that Artifact Uprising was going to be one of our sponsors, I lost my mind because I've literally done all my holiday shopping through them for the last couple of years, and the gifts are always a massive hit. Artifact Uprising is a Colorado-based company that sells premium quality, customizable photo goods for your digital photos. They want to help you preserve your meaningful moments this holiday season. Whether you want to say I love you with the perfect gift, display favorite memories in your home, or connect with loved ones throughout the year, they have a product you can personalize. I've gotten photo books, calendars, and scrapbooks, and they are always simply beautiful and always a hit because of how personalized they feel. Like I mentioned, I've gotten many gifts over the years, but I kind of wanted my own photo book about having that physical memento to put in your home. I decided to make a photo book of me and my partner's first year together, and we have just so many photos, but it was easy to go through them, and the book came out beautifully. And who knows, maybe one day we can share it with our future children to show them how young and crazy their parents once were. Artifact Uprising makes it easy to tell your story. Through the end of the year, Dateable listeners can give Artifact Uprising a try and get 20% off for new customers or 15% off if you purchased before. Just visit artifactuprising.com and use the code Dateable through December 31st. I don't know about you, but I always struggle with cravings and bloating that time of month and just feel a little off when I get my period. This is something that's been a challenge for me for a very long time, and I recently started taking Hormone Harmony to manage my PMS, and it really supports my hormonal balance and regulation. I feel like since I've been using it, my sleep quality has improved and it's relieved some of my mood swings. And the biggest benefit, feeling like myself again. That's what women mention over and over in their reviews. And there are 17,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. Women cannot stop talking about it on social media. Literally, a bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. Happy Mammoth, the company that created Hormone Harmony, is dedicated to making women's lives easier. It has zero sugar and it's gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and third-party tested. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Dateable at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code Dateable for 15% off today.
Hi, I'm Yue Xu.
And I'm Julie Kraftchick.
We're active daters turned dating insiders.
Here to dive into everything modern dating and relationships.
Welcome to Dateable. Hello, friends. Welcome to Brunch Talk, where we answer your burning dating questions. Our goal here is to answer as many dating questions as possible so that you know that you're not alone in what you're going through. And also there's someone here to support you, which is the two of us. We are always going to be here for you during brunch.
We are. And you know what? If you are on YouTube, you can see us live in the flesh.
Wow.
We are putting these full brunch talks on YouTube. This is going to be an experiment over this season. We started doing it last season, but we're running full steam ahead this season. So if you're not there yet and you want to actually do brunch with us, you can head over to YouTube.
I was going to suggest that we should eat a little brunch while we do brunch talk.
Maybe we should be doing
Maybe
that.
We should.
Do people want to see us eat though? I don't know.
It's not the seeing, it's more the hearing. I hate hearing people eat. So I know I would not love it, but maybe there's some like eating ASMR.
I know. It's like, what are you going to get us into? We're going to get into a weird category.
It's like eggs. Well, I don't know. That sounds way too sexual for eggs. But you know what I mean? Like, it would be nice if there was some camaraderie in the eating, but we'll figure that out. Silent
the good news
eating.
Is we can't hear or see you eat.
No.
So even if we're there, we can't. So you can eat so loud, so freaking loud, and we won't know.
Yeah.
That's the beauty.
I will still love you. But if we were real friends, it'd be very hard for me to eat brunch with you, just to be very honest. Okay, but we're a little bit distracted. Yeah, we're going to focus now. The question for this episode is, how do I know when it's love or just infatuation?
And this was a good one that we received. So here's the sitch. I've been dating a guy for about a month. I've been waiting and hinting that I'm ready to be in a relationship with him exclusively and planned on bringing it up the next week if he didn't. But while we were hanging out watching The Bachelor, he dropped the L word. I was a bit overwhelmed. I do like him though, but how do I understand his feelings more and if this is love or infatuation? What future conversations do we need to have to get on the same page eventually?
Oh, so many follow-up questions to that. What scene of The Bachelor inspired him to drop the L word? I cannot imagine. That's not the point of the question. I totally understand where you're coming from. Because we are all merely strangers trying to navigate a relationship together, how you define love is so different than what they define as love. What you grew up as the model for love
Yeah.
is different than what they grew up as the model for love. And that's all to say we need to seek some understanding here. We cannot really answer this question for you because we don't know him, but it is such a great opportunity to ask more questions to understand where your partner is coming from. What do they define as love?
Look, I think I think it's pretty clear that it's just infatuation at this point. You have
Really?
your answer.
You think so?
Yes,
Oh!
yes. They've known each other for, I mean, I don't know. I'm very skeptical of like the love at first sight thing. I think it's pure infatuation when it's that fast. And it's not a bad thing. It's just like where you are in that stage of a relationship. Unless you've been spending every waking second together, we don't know. But let's assume that like it's a typical dating scenario where you see each other 1 to 2 times max a week. You just don't know each other enough for it to be like love. You could feel that giddy feeling, maybe a feeling of love, but to be in love, I think is a different level. I agree with you that everyone has different definitions, but I almost feel like the reason why I say just assume it's infatuation, I almost feel like it doesn't matter at this stage. Like, you know, you like him already. You said you want a DTR. I think there's a little bit of... You know, I'm a big How I Met Your Mother fan.
Yeah.
But you know how like Ted Mosby, the main character, like in the first episode, he drops the L word to Robin and she's like, what? Like freaks out. And I think like they call it like Ted Mosbying, like to drop the like L word. And I think there is a little bit of like the take back mentality. I totally get that. And then you're also like, whoa, is this person way ahead of me? What are they feeling? And I think there might be some maybe emotional maturity that's lacking or awareness of like trying to make sure that, you know, you're kind of like on the same page a little before pulling something that's perceived so big out. But I don't know if it's like that big of deal in the scheme of things, because like what does it actually come down to? If you two are ready to build a relationship together, I would say just move forward and then use like, it doesn't need to be a big conversation, but you can like progressively understand where they're coming from, their background, their upbringing, just how they view love, past relationships. All that will unfold.
Where I am so aligned with you, Julie, is that where's the big picture here? The question is not whether it's love or infatuation. That's not the bigger picture question. The question is, can you move forward in a relationship? Can you build a relationship together?
Yeah.
That's the bigger question, right? So that I completely agree. And that's probably why it's negligible, whether Julie and I think this is love or infatuation. I do have to say, however, warning though, that people can feel dismissed if you try to say or try to negate their reality. And I do think, like, for example, when I first tasted sushi, I was like, this is the best sushi I've ever had. Now, would I say that now, going back to that restaurant? Probably not. But in that moment, that was my truth because that was my point of comparison. That was literally the best sushi I've ever had. And I think how you define love is in reference to what you've experienced as love. Right? So if you feel compelled to say the L word with someone, I would want the other person to respect you in that moment that that's your reality. It's not their place to say, well, it's not love. That's still their reality.
Yeah.
What I would say in this case is, again, is like what Julie said, it doesn't matter what you're trying to define it as. Move it to the bigger question. The bigger question is, do you think we can build a relationship together? And what would that look like? And then discuss what are your foundations of love? What do you think are things that make someone lovable? And, you know, like really have those conversations so that you can walk towards alignment. But I do think in the beginning of these relationships, you're not going to seek alignment in what love is. It's just everybody's so different.
Look, there's never alignment in relationships, ever. There's always one person that's a little in front and another person that's a little in back.
Just different.
Even in the healthiest of relationships, because you're not the same person.
You're not.
So that's just the reality. I want to say this to preface it. Like, I'm not telling you to go down like a red flag hunt, but like, I would be more concerned that they are like love bombing in the sense of like, they just, are moving really fast in what we call like a microwave relationship, that it heats up so fast and that it just like evaporates. That's what I'd be more concerned about. But again, if that happens, again, you can't control the other person. All you can control is yourself. I wouldn't hang on to, well, they said they loved me. Like, it kind of is a moot point. Like, it doesn't really matter what they said. I'd be more concerned, like, can you build a sustainable relationship with this person? I would almost ignore the they said I love me part, because I think that might like fast track it in a way that isn't sustainable.
It's the same thing as when people introduce their partner to friends and family really quickly.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different interpretation, but then you hang on to that moment if it means so much to you when it could mean nothing to someone. I also know people who throw the L word around like it's nothing.
Yes.
It's just like, I love you, everybody. I'm in love with everybody. And so, it's like, it's not so much about what should I be interpreting from this conversation because he said he loves me. It's more about what are we building together, given that we just had this conversation. And when you are in the early dating phase, you really just want to know how people react, how people handle conversations, and how you move forward together as a couple. I mean, that is how relationships are built. But if you get hung up on this one moment, you're never going to get anywhere, because what are you going to do? Just like arguing your reality versus their reality?
It's not the big
Why?
picture.
What's the point? It's not the big picture.
There's so much more I want to talk about, but before we do, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors. We're officially entering fall, and I don't know about you, but this is by far my favorite season. Between pumpkin spice lattes and sweater weather, it's the best. And Quince makes it easy to shift my wardrobe from summer to fall with high-quality items that don't blow my budget. I'm obsessed with the tan cashmere sweater I got from them. It's one of their signature items, and it's just so soft and luxurious. And $50. That's unheard of for cashmere. And the quality is to the same level of luxury brands that cost a heck lot more. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands, and that's because Quince partners directly with top factories, cutting out the cost to the middleman, and passes the savings on to us. Make switching season a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/dateable for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/dateable to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dateable. You may have heard me mention in our newsletter that I'm in the process of planning a trip to Italy, and I don't want to be that American tourist that doesn't know any Italian. What better way than to use Rosetta Stone, the most trusted learning program available on desktop or as an app that truly immerses you in the language you want to learn. Rosetta Stone is the trusted expert for 30 years and millions of users with 25 languages offered. The whole process just feels intuitive, like you're picking up the language naturally, first with words, then phrases, and then sentences. Their true accent feature even gives you feedback on your pronunciation, something I may even need sometimes in English. This is an absolute steal right now. With 50% off, your lifetime membership includes all 25 languages, so you have this for any and all trips you need in life. So don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. Dateable listeners get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/today. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/today today.
I love my shower time. See, I'm an evening showerer because I like to wash off the day before I hop into bed. And now with Osea's new Ondaria algae body wash, my shower routine has turned into a tropical paradise with its iconic all-natural uplifting citrusy scent. This body wash infuses your shower with the healing power of the sea, formulated with nourishing, nutrient-rich Ondaria seaweed, glycerin, and an oil blend. Also, its pH balance, hydrating formula doesn't strip skin, leaving you feeling soft and renewed. I'm personally a big fan of the gel-like texture. It just feels really nice in my hands, and it's beautiful, rich lather. And the all-natural citrusy scent that smells so vibrant. You just feel like you just went, I don't know, surfing? Even I don't surf at all. It leaves my skin feeling so wonderful and, can I just even say glamorous? Upgrade your shower with clean, vegan face and body care from Osea. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code DATEABLE at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping on orders over $60. Head to OSEAMalibu.com and use the code DATEABLE for 10% off.
This is a juicy one. There's so much to unravel here.
I
I mean, I
know.
think another piece of it too is like this, how do we understand his feelings more? How do we get aligned and all the conversations that need to be had? I think first of all, celebrate that at least you both are aligned right now in the sense that you want a relationship.
Yes.
That's a point of alignment. For a lot of people, that's an uphill battle. So you got something here, right? You were there. I don't think you need to feel obligated to say, I love you back by any means. Like
No.
it's still 1 month in. You can just say, okay, hear you. I'm not there yet because we've been dating a month, but I am here in the sense that I want a relationship with you. So let's do that and see how it goes. I don't think you need to do like a check-in of like where you are with being in love versus him. Like, I don't think any of that is necessary. Just enjoy your relationship. Let it build like you would if that was never said.
It's just like, what are you moving towards? And I think on the receiving end, I'm just trying to think about it from his side. What I really want to hear from you is that you are moving towards something. And so if you said, okay, I'm not going to say it back because I don't genuinely feel it, but I am committed to moving towards love. Like that's something, right? Like at least you're open to that. Because there are also some people who are so closed off to love who are like, oh, I just don't believe in being in love in the first like 5 years of relationship. You got to really build that. That's also information too. So I just want to hear like from anybody that I'm dating that we're both moving towards the same direction.
I mean, the fact that you're super excited and was planning on bringing up the DTR convo, just saying that or like being like, you know, I'm excited about the next stages. I think a bigger thing to look for is like, are they expecting a response? Because that could be a sign of something too.
Right.
Like, again, I don't want to like plant like, oh, you should be looking for all the red flags and love bombing. But I do think like any relationship, it's important to like evaluate how people react to different situations and see if this is a good fit for you. So if someone could be like, okay, I feel this way, but I get that it's only a month in, let's proceed, versus like get angry if you don't say it back. That's a big sign.
I think there are sort of 3 ways to look at your relationship dynamics. In a relationship, you give, you receive, or you reciprocate.
Yeah.
And in this situation, you can wholeheartedly receive and not have to give or reciprocate. I think that is totally okay. And it's also important to establish this in a relationship is I'm giving you this. I don't expect you to receive or reciprocate, but I would like it if you received it. Like that's something really nice too, you know, for him to expect. Because I think it's all about setting expectations. So if you say, thank you so much for saying that, I respect that, and I fully receive it. I'm just not ready to reciprocate. That is so lovely versus like, I'm not there yet. I'm not, you know, I can't say it back to you. Then it just feels very me versus you.
Yeah. And there's no need to blow up a relationship because they said something for something that you wanted, right? You wanted this relationship. But I love that. The give, receive, and reciprocate. That's so important to think about because I think so many of us, myself included sometimes, can fall into a pattern of like only wanting reciprocal action. But sometimes there are some things that really is okay that one person just gives and one person just receives.
I know. I wish we can really normalize that. I had, you know, after that last big breakup, I had a friend come over and she brought a feast to my house. And I felt so guilty in that moment because I was like, oh, I have nothing to give to you. I didn't prepare anything. And she said this, her exact words. She said, and this is Amy, by the way, we've had her on the podcast. She said, I just want you to receive. That is it. I just want you to receive.
Such an Amy thing to say.
It is. I was like, oh my God, who's this enlightened angel in my house? But ever since she said those words, I kind of thought about it in a sense of a relationship. Is like, as a partner, sometimes you just totally just want to give this thing to your partner without any expectation of getting something back in return. It doesn't have to be so equal all the time. Like, I can feel really good about just giving, and you can feel really good about just receiving.
Yeah. And I think it's like, again, it kind of goes back to my point earlier of like, you're never going to be fully aligned. Like an equal relationship, it's not like, so like you did this, I do it right back. It's like, it can be equal over time. You can be aligned over time. You're 1 month in, you still have time.
Yeah. You don't have to be aligned on the timing of things. I think you just have to be aligned on the general direction that you're working towards.
Like, unless you both like can have telepathic powers to know that one person is going to say it at that exact moment, there's no way that like two people could DTR at the exact same time. Like the fact that you were already thinking about it the week before, it shows that you're pretty aligned.
Yeah, you're already thinking in the same direction. I've always wondered about that. We should do research on that. How do people say the first I love yous? And like,
it's always someone leading it. Always.
Well, absolutely. It's someone leading it. And then other person, like how long have they already thought about it? That'd be interesting to know. Or are there circumstances which I've seen was like, you didn't even think about it. And then you were like, oh, actually I am. Now that you say that.
I had that happen for my ex before my current partner. And then my current partner, I was thinking about it. I remember talking about it like with my brother and sister-in-law when I was like back home.
Oh.
And like I said something when I got back to see him that like gave him permission. I forget what I said exactly. And then he said it like immediately after. And he was like, I was talking to my therapist, like when I should say this.
Oh my God.
And so we were like both aligned, but like whatever I said gave that permission to go there. Sometimes people just need that little nudge.
Little nudge. Yeah, a little nudge. That's very sweet. But also celebrate the fact that someone said, I love you to you. What a great fucking feeling.
You're in a relationship. You guys can watch The Bachelor every freaking week. It's amazing.
Yes.
You're living the life over there.
To find someone who's willing to watch The Bachelor with you, yeah, that's love. That's true love.
There we go. Okay, well, this was a good one. Hopefully people can, relate in some way, even if you haven't gotten the L word dropped on an early date. There's always a time where there's a little bit of inconsistency of wwhere people are at with their feelings.
There's always going to be something in a relationship where someone says or does something that means something different to you. Like it's not even just the L word. It's
get ready. Get ready. It's coming
always
more.
going to be something, like the first time they cook for you. Ooh, what does it mean? Like, it could mean nothing.
Or when they say something that insults you and you're like, what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of misinterpretation that can happen.
So seek understanding. If you choose to even try to interpret, like what's the point even trying to interpret? You just have to seek understanding. It's the baseline learning here. Okay, well, we love you, our listeners. If you like to get your, when we mean it.
The L word. Yeah.
We mean it because,
truly.
It's been 8+ years. So I think it's not too soon
some of
to
us,
say
we've built up the relationship.
We've all earned the L word in our almost decade-long podcast. But you know how you can show your love to us is, one, you can pre-order our new book coming out in January 2025, How to Be Dateable, published by Simon & Schuster. I always have to drop the Simon & Schuster because I'm so fucking proud that we did this through such a big publisher, such a big, reputable publisher. Really proud of ourselves.
They were also great partners. They really brought the book to life.
And they approached us. They made the first move. They approached us first and they dropped the L word first. And we're like, you want to
We've been trying to DTR with you for a while. We've been thinking about it.
Like, is this a long-term thing or are you just looking for hookup? But they were in it for the long run. And other ways you can get in touch with us, you can send your questions in by emailing us, hello@dateablepodcast.com. You can DM us on Instagram @dateablepodcast is our username, or you can leave us a rating and review in Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, s'il vous plaît. But in the body of the review, you can ask your question there. And then if you say you pre-ordered our book, we will bump your question up to the first. Like if there was a number before 1, you be that number. It's a made up number.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And make sure to tune in for our full-length episode every Tuesday as well.
Okay, we'll see you all next week for another brunch talk.
Bye.